Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about why people don't respect you. And I feel like a lot of people have this problem and it makes them feel bad about themselves and they're like, oh, they don't respect me. Like you can kind of just feel it, right? So like it's the attention or the regard or the consideration that someone else has for you. And I'm going to be giving you guys some reasons as to why people do not respect you. And before we get into this, I think it's really important that you understand that respect, like your desire to respect, stems from something deeper that you are going to have to ask yourself. Why is it that you want these people to respect you? Why is it that you feel the need that these people have to respect you? Where does that come from? Does that stem from pride? Does that stem for you having such a high thought of yourself that you need other people to recognize that too? Like it gets really deep, but number one is definitely the lack of empathy. There are some people out there who are just nasty and mean and they don't want to respect anybody else. I've actually seen people who are not people who are to be respected, serial killers, and they're disrespectful to everyone. That's a big example right there. So you will find people who don't want to respect you just simply because, why should I, right? That's their attitude. So how could you ever take something like that personal? Number two is definitely bias and prejudice. There are people who are disrespected simply because of what someone told them in their life. So here's a great example. You go to a certain town in a state that you've never been to, and this state only has a predominantly one culture. Now, you being the opposite culture of them, completely different, they see you and they're like, oh my gosh, this person only eats this and this person talks this way and this person's cruel and mean. And you're like, what? Where did you hear that from? They're like, oh, well, my mom taught me that. And as you get to know them, they're like, oh, but you're not supposed to be respected because you're this. And you're just like, who told you that? Who taught you these things? The bias and the prejudice. And they build up this hate in their heart. And then when they go to different states and they go to different places, they're just nasty and disrespectful. And it's because of something that their family taught them or something that they were raised around. Number three is insecurity. I think that it's so important for people to know that there are a lot of insecure people out there, and it's a good thing and a bad thing when someone disrespects you because you can kind of get a deeper look into that person. So if someone were to say to you, oh, I absolutely hate the way your skin looks today. It looks so rough. In my mind, I'm going to say, oh, they must think that they must have an insecurity about their skin if that's what they're focused on, right? So, if you're like, you just buy yourself a red car, you're going to see red cars more often because that's what you focused on. So if someone is paying attention to your skin, they more likely pay attention to their skin a lot. So you'll start to notice that's where their insecurity lies, which is their weakness. They give you their weaknesses when they try to put you down about something. People also do this when they feel threatened. If I feel like someone's going to take something of mine, or let's just say a job position that I have that's open, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to have this job position. And then some girl comes and I'm like, wait a minute, she has more credentials than me. Everybody in the office likes her. Two things could happen. I could be very respectful and kind to her, or I could try to disrespect her and try to make her feel less than, right? That's what happens when you feel threatened. The next one is power dynamics. And this is so important. Please listen to what I'm going to say here. People will think that they are above you, so that's why they can disrespect you. This is another reason. If someone sees themselves in a higher position than you, which most of the time comes from a deluded self-opinion of themselves, most likely that person can disrespect you because they think that they're in a better position than you and they don't feel the need to respect you. This is why when people are in high positions and they respect people who are in lower positions, and I'm going to use Zendaya for example. She's clearly a celebrity. She obviously makes a lot of money. A lot of people know her. She has fame and fortune, but she treats her fans like they're on the same level as her. Like she's not like, oh, I don't have time for you, right? So we appreciate that. But there are people who are in, different power dynamics in a caste system in the world, right? The caste system of like the princess and the queens and kings, and then the celebrities, and then the Instagram people, and then just everyday people. And it's really important to know that that's like a delusion, right? You're living in this world and nobody is better than anybody at the end of the day. Someone may have something more than you, and that might be credited and respected and admired, but no one essentially is worthy of like this higher love than you. You know, we were all created by God, and I think that it's important that that's actually for a separate video that I want to get into about that. But the fifth thing that I want to talk about is definitely the lack of communication. I think that people can end up getting disrespected when there's a lack of communication. So for example, when you're texting somebody on your phone and they read it completely differently than the way you meant it, there's actually a skit about it with Key and Peele. And he's like, okay, whatever, do you want to just go here? Or he's like really happy when he reads. He's like, okay, whatever, you want to go here? And then the other person reads it like, okay, whatever, do you want to go here? Communication can, you know, make you misinterpret things. Like even with different cultures, some people have signs of disrespect. Like if I look somebody in the eye in certain parts of Asia, it's very disrespectful. But if I don't look someone in the eye over here in America, that's also very disrespectful. So you have to remember that sometimes there's just a cultural difference. And then this is my favorite one to talk about, is another reason that people won't respect you is because you don't respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, how can anyone respect you? If you don't love yourself, how can anyone love you, right? I don't want to, actually, I'm going to take that last one out because that's actually not true. If you don't love yourself, other people will still love you. So I'm just going to remove that. But if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect other people to respect you, right? If you wake up, you know, don't really care about brushing your teeth, you don't care about putting an outfit on, you don't care about doing your hair, they're like, oh, this person doesn't care. I'm too cool, I don't care. I see you as a careless person. So my interactions with you will make me be a little bit more laid back and a little bit careless. Now to get even deeper than that, if I really disrespect myself, I'm gonna curse, I'm gonna be nasty, I'm gonna be like, whatever. I don't care if people perceive me, I don't care about taking care of myself, I don't care about all of this stuff. And then you expect other people to respect you. That's not gonna happen. 110% won't happen. I'm actually gonna make a separate video about this as women, as how we should respect ourselves, whether we don't think it's that serious or not. Because again, there are people around us who create these perceptions on what we should do. You know, like our parents could say like, oh, you don't have to do this. But then when you go out in the real world, you're like, oh, well, that's something that I should have done. Like taking care of your hair, grooming yourself. You guys will see that that's really important. You know, we all get treated differently when we are put together. No, we don't need to wear like expensive brands. When we look put together, people will respond to us a little bit differently. Because like, oh, this person respects themselves. Same thing in a relationship. I cannot wait to get into that video, man. But be careful about being really upset or hurt when someone disrespects you, because given through everything that I just listed, it really makes no sense to get offended. Unless you did something where people feel the desire to respect you, I guess you can be a little bit empathetic there and say, okay, wow, like maybe this was my fault that I have been disrespected. If you're nasty and mean, people are going to disrespect you. There are some people who really respect people no matter what. You know, somebody spits in their face and they're just like, okay, whatever. I've actually read a story about that, but that's pretty much it. If you guys like the video, please like and comment, because I want to know what you guys think. Honestly, these videos are to help you and to heal you and help you to understand and navigate through life. So, bye.